Like, so this man, as soon as I leave, got hoes rolling up to the crib at probably almost every night. So like he knew I was leaving at 1:30. So 1:45, here come a hoe. Here come a hoe. Here come another hoe. And I'm like,
and if they feeling froggy, then they can jump. But I doubt it, ain't no point in talking about it. If it ain't about success, then why it's coming out their mouth? If it ain't about the money, why they walking out the house?
what's up, y'all? It's your girl Taylor, and I'm back with another video. And listen, this video is a story time about how I got cheated on and my whole situationship. Yes, he wasn't even my man. And I got my feelings hurt. And I think I still got cheated on even though we weren't really official. And I'm gonna tell you why. Now, I'm doing this video though because I wanna help all the other little goofies like me, because I was a whole little goofy at the time, and I wanna save some of y'all. Somebody gonna listen to this story and be like, I don't wanna be like her. I don't wanna be how she was. So I'm gonna save your feelings and I'm gonna save your coins if you take heed and don't fall for the okie doke like I did, because I got played, and it is what it is. So let me tell you how it started though. So it was a summer after I turned 18, and I was really feeling myself because I had just graduated high school, Preaching Daughters had just ended, and so like, you know, I was on a high, like, man, life is good. My daddy just pushed back the curfew, because before I had to come in when the street lights came on. Because I graduated and everything was good and I was, you know, high honor roll, all this other stuff, my dad was like, okay, 2 a.m. So I'm thinking, I'm grown, which I'm not grown then. If I still have to have a curfew, I'm really not grown. But at the time, I felt like the world was mine. So long story short, I meet this DJ named Kyle. Now remember, I'm 18. I'm calling him Kyle. His real name's not Kyle, but whatever. I'm 18. Kyle is about 22, 23, I think at the time. 22, 23, whatever. But the fact that he was older too, I was just like, ooh, he a man. You know what I mean? And he got his little career thing going on. He's DJing at all the best parties. And of course, I'm hearing about these parties, but never really was able to go like that. So yeah, I don't know. I really liked him. But I had met him and his best friend, Derek. Now, my best friend, Janaea, she basically lived with me at the time because she spent the night every single day. So basically, she had, a couple drawers, hung up some of her stuff in the closet. Like, we lived together. That was my girl. That was my number one. So when I saw Kyle and Derek, even though both of them are really cute, because Derek was like a host, like comedian type guy, and like I said, Kyle was the DJ, and both of them were real cute. And I think Derek was actually feeling me first, but for whatever reason I wanted Kyle. And I think it was because, I don't know what drew me to Kyle. It probably was, you know, like the inner boy in him. There's no other way to put it. Like, for whatever reason, I like guys like him, and it is what it is. So I called dibs on Kyle to my best friend. So she had to go and talk to Derek, because that's how we do. If you call dibs, you call dibs, because she thought, you know, Kyle was cute too. And I mean, like I said, she thought Derek was cute, but we both kind of really liked Kyle. But I was like, no, boo-boo. I called him, which I probably shouldn't have. Anyways, so long story short, we hanging out with them like every single day. So I had my car at the time, so we would get up because, of course, my curfew was at 2, so I couldn't like just stay out over there. So me and my best friend would get up like by 7, 8 in the morning. We'll be driving over there by 9 o'clock in the morning, and we'll be with them from like 9:30 to 1:30 in the morning, because I'm flying on the expressway to make sure I can get home by 2, because my dad never sleeps. So he was always waiting up for me at 2 a.m. and right in the living room as soon as I walked in, like, okay. So I'm experiencing different things with him. Like, he was able to get me into some clubs at the time. Like, low-key, my summer of 2013 was a whole hit. Like, it was lit. So I'm able to get in the clubs when I wasn't able to. I think I'm doing something because I'm dating the DJ. But it was never official. When I would talk to him about like what we were, he would always say things like, you know, I don't think I'm ready for a title and everything, but you know how I feel about you. You my sweetheart. That's just what it is. I don't really care about the boyfriend, girlfriend title stuff, because to me, that's just titles. You're my sweetheart, and I care about you. And I'm telling him, like, I mean, yeah, but I'm with you every day and stuff. I just feel like I'm like your girlfriend. He was like, you kind of are, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't want the titles and stuff. Like, we know what we got. We don't need all that. A title don't define the relationship. And me being a whole goofy, like, you right. A title don't define the relationship, I guess. So it was a situationship, but it felt like a relationship because I ended up having the password to his phone. He had the password to my phone. We spent literally every single day together. He used to come to church with me sometimes. Like, that was my man. I don't care what nobody said to me. That was my man. And so all of a sudden, this is the first time I was super stupid for him. His best friend called me. And his best friend's like, hey, Kyle's in jail. And I'm like, what? Because I was wondering why Kyle wasn't answering his phone. But he said Kyle's in jail. I'm like, how? And he's like, well, he got caught driving on a suspended license, so they booked him. And I've been collecting money to bail him out because we don't want to have him, you know, sleep in jail. He was like, so do you have like $300 you can give to get him out? Because that's all we need left. I got all the money. All I need is $300 left. Gave that man $300. When I think about this, y'all, I get so pissed. So I'm like, yeah, because like, to be honest, I did. I was at that time, I was blowing money, y'all. Like, I had no even thought about money like that because I had it. So I was just like, yeah, like, I'll help. So I was just like, yeah, like, I'll help. I met him in the parking lot, his best friend in the parking lot of Walmart. So, because I never really dated like that, because y'all know my situation, like, I was super naive. So, I really didn't know the game like that. And so, he takes the $300. Next thing you know it, the next day, Kyle calls, like, thank you so much for helping me, you know, get me out of jail. And I'm like, you're welcome, you know, you're welcome. And next thing you know it, like, a couple weeks after that, same thing happened, but this time it was for, like, an unpaid ticket and another $300. And I give it, being a whole goofy, being stupid, I give him another $300. But I just, to this day, I really don't know if he was ever in jail. Like, I really don't know. Part of me feel like they just got $600 out of me. But whatever. So that's the first time I was a goofy, and y'all finna help bail some man out of jail, and he not even your man because y'all don't need a relationship title. Make sure that man really in jail, because I don't know. When I think about it, I'm thinking, let me go visit him. Let me make sure he in jail first, you know. Or maybe let him sit, because why are you putting yourself in situations where you can be caught by the police, like driving without a license? Like, come on now. Second time I was stupid for him was, like I said, we weren't together, but we were. And all of a sudden, some girl texts him, and she's like, I had so much fun with you last night. Now remember, I am going to his house every single day, not leaving till almost 1:30 in the morning. When did you have time to see anybody last night? What is she talking about? And so I look at his phone, I'm reading text messages, and they were talking about how they had just had sex the night before and shit. Just sent him some naked pics and everything. And so I asked him, I'm like, Kyle, what is this? And he sits me down, all nice and polite, like, sweetheart, it's really nothing. I'm like, what do you mean it's really nothing? And he was like, well, you not giving me any. And I'm a man, I got needs. And I understand that you're a virgin and I'm not gonna pressure you to do anything, but I still have needs. I'm not celibate. And I'm like, but I thought what me and you had, you know? And he's like, we do. He was like, that ain't nothing to me. She just a female. Like, it's just sex. It doesn't mean anything. Like, I care about you, sweetheart. I care about you. I don't care about her. It's just a natural human need, me and her. And then I'm like, but when do you have time, Kyle? I'm like, I'm literally here all day, every day with you. And he's like, she basically, you know, came right as I left. So I'm like, so this man, as soon as I leave, got hoes rolling up to the crib at probably almost every night. So like he knew I was leaving at 1:30. So 1:45, here come a hoe. Here come a hoe. Here come another hoe. And I'm like, well, ain't that something? So I'm in my feelings. My feelings hurt because I'm like, okay, I'm not giving you sex, but dang. Like, is it that serious? And apparently it was. And so I let it go and I fell for it. I was just like, okay. Well, I'm like, but I don't want her texting you and stuff. And I don't really want to see that. Like, they shouldn't be texting you throughout the day and everything. And he was just like, okay, I'll make sure she don't text me like that no more. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, okay. Stupid. So the third time, I was a stupid for him. I call it a stupid or a goofy, whatever. Third time. So all of a sudden, one day, he tells me that his ex-girlfriend is homeless. Her mom just kicked her out and they were really close, like they're still good friends. And he's like, I can't just let her be homeless. First off, I don't even know why I fell for that, but I think I was just naive at 18 because I didn't really have a huge dating experience anyway. But the third time was he tells me she's homeless and that he's moving her in. I'm like, well, now I'm thinking like, why didn't she have any other family that could take her in? Why her a whole ex-boyfriend gotta take her in? That's neither here or there. He tells me like, you know, she's moving in, but it's nothing between us. She knows that, you know, what me and you got and everything. So she's gonna be sleeping on the second floor. His area, like he made a whole little bachelor pad in the basement. So he was always in the basement. So he was like, that I'm just, you know, letting her have a place to sleep until she can get her stuff together. And I'm like, okay, I guess, you know. And to be honest, I believed him because he was telling me everything else, even the stuff I didn't want to hear, like about him having sex with these random hoes and stuff. So, you know, I don't want to call them random hoes. That ain't even right. These random girls, because they probably not hoes. And I just think that's wrong. I shouldn't call another female. Whatever. These random females, he was having sex with them. So he was telling me about him. And so I'm thinking, okay, he's honest with me. Because he told me, he's like, I always be honest with you. I don't ever have to lie to you because that's the kind of connection we have. So I'm like, okay. So I would see her and she wouldn't really say anything to me. Like, she would just look at me like, hi. And keep going. We'll call her Jessica. So she's like, hi. And roll her eyes and keep walking. And I just be like, hello. And I was like, whatever, because this is my boo. And that was dumb of me because one day my parents were going out of town. So me and Janaea, we like, oh snap, we can stay out past 2 today. Hey. And we already told him we were coming over, we were staying later, or whatever. All of a sudden, I get a FaceTime call from Kyle, and he's pacing back and forth. Just pacing back and forth. And I'm like, what's wrong? Then he gets in the middle of the camera, like, well, in front of the camera like this, because he had his phone propped up like how I have mine. And he's like, starts tearing up. Sweetheart, I don't think you should come over today. And I'm like, Kyle, why? I don't think you should come over today. It's just, man, a lot of stuff is happening and oh my God, man. And he starts, you know, really tearing up. I'm like, Kyle, what's wrong? And he's like, Jessica's pregnant. So my goofy butt, I'm like, what? Dang, by who? So my thought process at the time was, she definitely ain't pregnant by you, because you told me you're not screwing her. So I'm thinking like, oh man, she must have brought some dudes to the house, and he probably mad because he like, you got these random dudes in my home and you getting pregnant when you should have been, trying to get on your feet. I'm thinking, oh, that's why he don't want me to come over, because he probably just snapped on her or whatever, or some issue going on and he don't want me there for it. So I'm like, by who? And he says, it's my baby's Taylor. And I'm like, what? Like, what? What? And he's like, it's my baby. And I'm like, but you said you weren't sleeping with her. And he was like, it was before she moved in. It was before everything, before me and you, and before we got close. I'm like, that's not true, because you just said she just found out. And if we go back, we've been talking longer than her just now finding out. And you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it wouldn't have made sense if for it to be before he had to have gotten her pregnant while we were talking. Janaea hears all this. She's not on FaceTime, but she was getting dressed because we were going over there, and she hears all this and she stops on her track like, oh shit. And so he's just like, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Don't be mad at me. Tears rolling down his freaking face. And I was just like, are you serious? He's like, yes. I'm like, you lied to me. To me, you said you weren't sleeping with her. You told me, and I believed you, and you got me around her, and I'm like, you were already sleeping with other girls, and you lied, and she lived in your home, and you said, like, I'm literally like, and so I hang up the phone. And I just bawl my eyes out. Janaea comes over and, like, hugs me while I'm laying in the bed. She's like, I'm so sorry, Taylor. I'm so sorry. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I'm so freaking stupid. I will let y'all know a little bit of something too. The only reason why, at least one of the reasons why I was just trying to go with the flow, is because I had literally just got my heart really broken by somebody else that I like had loved. And when I found out that for sure I guess we weren't gonna be together, I wanted to move on. And then I'm thinking, this is the perfect guy to move on with. Like, he's tall, handsome, he DJs, he's into music, and he's into things that I'm into. And I didn't want to look stupid, like, in other people's eyes, even though in the end I still look stupid. But I don't know, I wasn't thinking correctly. But I had already literally had just got out of getting my heart broke, so I wanted to hurry up and move on because I didn't want to loathe in my self-pity. So the fourth time I was goofy with him was I forgave him and I kept talking to him, and she still lived there. And he said they weren't together, which apparently they couldn't have been together because I was still coming over. And I forgave him and everything. And he needed to borrow another $300. He needed to borrow another $300. And I gave it to him. And this is... a lot of stuff had happened, to be honest, and we kind of started falling apart. And actually, let me backtrack. Right after I found out that he was having a baby with his ex-girlfriend, like I said, I didn't talk to him a little bit, I kept it short. I was so depressed that I sat there in the living room with a big t-shirt on for almost 3 days straight, crying and playing the video game. And I was playing Kingdom Hearts. I decided to replay that game. I love that game. So I was playing Kingdom Hearts, and I was in the process of beating the game. And I remember Janaea came by and she was like, if you don't get up out of this living room and put on some freaking clothes, she's like, I'm gonna take a picture of you like this and I'm gonna send it to him. Cause she know how I am about that. Like, my main thing is, like, I don't like to be embarrassed. Like, I will act like there's nothing wrong I would put on the biggest front than to let somebody, you know, embarrass me or to feel like they got to me. So we ended up actually wrestling, like, because she took the picture of me and I was like basically about to fight her over that picture and over her phone. So like I was in my feelings and everything, and I still forgave the stupid dude. And he ended up needing to borrow $300 more. And by this point in the situation, I was kind of over it. Like I was over him, where I kind of ghosted him afterwards. But I wanted my money. So I ended up hitting him up on his birthday, telling him my birthday. He had turned 24, so he was 23. He had turned 24. I hit him up on his birthday, and you know, so just told him happy birthday, whatever. A couple weeks later, I hit him up, and I'm like, hey, I need my $300, because he needed to borrow that, not have it. And he was just like, oh, I don't have it right now. I'm like, well, when you gonna have it? And he never had it. So he decided he wanted to take me out to breakfast. And so he said he just wanted to really talk about some things. He felt like we didn't get to really talk about what happened between me and him. And so this is like literally only a couple months before I was turning 19 now. So like seriously, by this point, I'm like, whatever. All that stuff was happening in the summer. I just don't care anymore, because I wasn't ever in love with him. Like my feelings was hurt, my pride was hurt, but I wasn't in love with him. Like, it was nothing to get over him. So he takes me out to breakfast, and like he's trying to get me back. Like he wants to be back how we were. He wanted to, you know, hang out all the time and everything. And I like was shutting it down. I was like, I'm good. I mean, you wanted to go to breakfast, I gave you that. You want your closure, I'm giving you that, because to be honest, I didn't ever get to get, you know, my real closure with my last situation. So I don't ever want to not give somebody closure, because that doesn't feel good. So I was just like, okay, I gave you your closure, we talked about it, we were honest, but I don't want to be with you. And like all of a sudden he's in the car yelling at me, talking about something, I loved you, I freaking loved you. And I'm like, boy, you ain't love me. Because if you loved me, you wouldn't have played me like that. Like, you loved what I did for you. You loved the attention I gave you. You loved the money. He loved the girlfriend in me, but not me as a girlfriend, if that makes any sense. And I told him, like, I don't even think I told him I loved him back. I was just like, well, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry you loved me. But that's it, that's all. And to this day, I see him randomly throughout, you know, different events or places. And to this day, I won't say it's awkward, but it's awkward. Like, because he moved on, of course, and has a girlfriend and everything. And I moved on, of course. I'm getting married. And when I see him, it's just like, but I always be wanting to ask, like, where my $300 at? A moral of the story is don't be a goofy. Don't let these dudes just sit there and tell you any and everything, give you the okie doke, like falling for the okie doke just because he cute and whatever, or because you're trying to get over somebody else, because my feelings got hurt and I lost some money. But lesson learned. I'm gonna tell you this, that never happened again. I never messed with nobody like that again, though. Learned that real quick at 18, and I said, nah. And I make so many songs about this dude too. Like, I should write, like, come out with a whole EP just based off that situation, because I was all in my feelings. Anyway, thanks for watching my video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what else y'all want me to do. But actually, this was kind of fun telling this story. All right, thanks. Thank ya.